Today I'm upgrading this worn out mower wheel with a used bicycle tire to add some more traction. So I'll show you how I did that here in just a few short steps. So I start by cutting up an old bicycle tire and removing the sidewall. And then we're going to position the tire facing with the tread backwards to get the maximum grip here. And if you flip it around and use it as on the bicycle, that just is not going to give you as much traction as you want. So I'm going to put it forward facing, I guess facing backwards. So hopefully this makes sense. So I use the weight of the mower to keep the tire taut against the wheel. And of course, prior to doing this, I've measured the circumference of the wheel and cut the proper length of the used tire. I mean, you don't have to use a used tire, you can use a brand new one also, but I happened to replace tires on my bike, so I had these left over, and these should give me some good traction here. So I'm just using some screws I have laying around, and these are, you can get them at any hardware store. You want to make sure that they have a flat top to them, so that way if you are moving the mower across the concrete floor or moving into your garage, you don't hear the tapping from the screws. So, or unless you're driving it on icy roads, then you get a studded tire appearance. So, joking aside, I started this with just a hand screwdriver, and then over time, after placing about 4 or 5 screws on the other tire on the other side, I found that using your driver or a power drill, corded drill or a cordless drill, makes this job a lot easier. So I'm just going to speed up the footage here as I'm putting the screws in. So I'm using it on both sides to keep the tire nice and tight up against the wheel. Make sure the screws are nice and flush in here. You could of course remove the wheel to do this, but again, I'm using the weight of the mower to keep the tire down and make sure I'm getting the proper length here. And you can do this as a one-man job, so fairly easily with one hand. Just have all your screws laying around nice and close, and again, pull it tight, and I'm just going to hold it down with my thumb here. And as I'm getting the screw ready, we're going to go ahead and put this one in. So I ended up using about 7 or 8 screws across the entire tire here. The main ones, of course, is to keep the tires down with these 4 screws just to approximate the edges. And then as you move around, you'll see, just make sure you prevent the tire from slipping sideways. So this is where you'll need screws probably about every 2 inches or so. So with that being said, I'm pretty happy with this upgrade. It will likely be much cheaper to do this than buying new tires. This is a Honda mower that I have, and I think each wheel is between $25 and $40 to replace. So this could have been a $50 to $80 upgrade if you were to replace the wheels, but the wheels work fine. The cogs on them work well. I just lubricated the drivetrain inside, so I thought that this would be a pretty easy money-saving upgrade. Otherwise, this old tire would have just came off. So as you can see, I'm using my drill here, and that makes a pretty quick work of this upgrade. So then I just go around and make sure that the tire is aligned well. It may not be perfect, but I'm finding some weak spots and putting in the screws, like I said, about every 2 inches or so. Your application may vary depending on your tire size, so we're just going to keep going around and placing more screws to keep the rubber down. I hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.